Hello everyone, I'm Hayden Christensen, and it's my absolute pleasure to welcome you all to this very special screening celebrating the 20th anniversary of Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith. I hope you all enjoy watching Anakin's journey to the dark side and watching Ewan and I battle it out on the big screen. So now let's get to the movie, because this is where the fun begins. Thank you, and may the Force be with you.
Hey guys, so a little different video from me today. I wanted to talk about nostalgia. Nostalgia is within my generation, Generation X, has been really ramping up. I'd say in the last 3-4 years. I just feel like everything that Hollywood is churning out, it's always like a remake. It's a remake of a movie that you've seen 10, 15 years ago. They can't seem to get an original story together. And when they do, it's not very successful. I think people are out of ideas. There's not a lot of creativity coming out of the music industry, the film industry. I can't speak for Broadway. I haven't been to a Broadway play in 20 years, but I wanted to talk about Star Wars today. Star Wars is world renowned. Star Wars is this epic, multi-layered sci-fi fantasy story that originated with A New Hope, Episode 4, A New Hope, that had Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Han Solo, and of course, Darth Vader. We can't forget Obi-Wan. So in 1977, George Lucas produced a movie and released it in May. And no one knew what they saw. After they saw it, they were like, what was that? I love it. And it took the country by storm, and it soon spread worldwide. And these 3 or 4 actors suddenly found themselves in this whirlwind of fame and notoriety, and they were flying and going all over the world to meet fans. So I would like to talk about the 20th anniversary of Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. This is the marker for the anniversary, and it is being shown in theaters nationwide. I believe in the UK it had a few dates that were, I can't remember the name of the cinema, but at AMC, Cinemark, Regal, and Alamo Drafthouse, they are showing it for anywhere from 4 to 7 days. In my area here in Texas, it only is showing 4 days. I just saw it on Thursday. I'm going to see it again on Sunday, tomorrow night. And I landed some movie concession stand merch. So they were offering the 44-ounce tumbler and the matching popcorn tin for $20 for the combo. You could buy them separately, though I don't know why you would want to. And then, of course, the epic Darth Vader sipper cup, $20 on its own. It's plastic, this is plastic, and this is tin. It's embossed. It has all of these amazing images on it. I'll have close-ups at the end. But, you know, in 1977, I was 8 years old. I did not go see Star Wars. In fact, I was so caught up in the music scene for a good 20 years of my life that it wasn't until after that that I really became interested in certain movies. And I was so overwhelmed with the loss of Elvis Presley in 1977, and when we went to Graceland in 1978, I really didn't have any interest in Star Wars or anything else. We did go see Grease when it came out in 77, the summer of 77, with Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta. We saw that many times. I think we saw it about 11 times in the theater that summer. But for the most part, Star Wars wasn't really big on my radar, but I did know all about it. So now fast forward 20 years later, and the prequels are, you know, all the rage, because when they first came out, no one liked them. They were questioning what was going on. I want my money back. Who is this Anakin Skywalker? But now there's an appreciation for it, because it did tie in episodes 4, 5, and 6, A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. But when you saw those, you were so tied to those characters that when you saw the prequels with Princess Amidala and Anakin Skywalker and a young Obi-Wan with Qui-Gon, and then of course Darth Maul, you couldn't really understand what was going on, because these beloved characters from A New Hope were so ingrained in American culture. So it took a while for people, I think, to process this, but now they are beloved just as much as the original trilogy. So I find it interesting. My generation, Gen X, loves Star Wars. And, you know, it's had so many offshoots. It's had Disney Plus series and different films that kind of came after that. Of course, the Obi-Wan series that was on Disney Plus was a huge hit, because Hayden Christensen made his comeback as Darth Vader. And then Ahsoka, Mandalorian, Rogue, Clone Wars. There's so much has come from A New Hope and from those original 3 films. And George Lucas said that he wanted it to be all in one film. Now, I don't know. That's a long film. I don't know that you could get all of those details in a 2-hour film. So he started in the middle. And he says that the saga of Star Wars is basically the story of Anakin Skywalker, who is really not a villain. He is a villain, but he's more of a victim. And he becomes he succumbs to the dark side and becomes the world's greatest, most epic villain of all time, Darth Vader. I love Darth Vader. He is everything that a villain should be, but I also like Anakin Skywalker. It just seems now the films that are being released are, I don't know, they're just not up to that caliber, you know. They're not really churning out anything new in Hollywood, even in the music industry. If you think about Beyonce covering Dolly Parton's Jolene, I know in the 70s it was the singer-songwriter era. You had artists like Carole King, John Denver, Glenn Campbell, Billy Joel, Elton John, of course Wings, the Beatles. When they split, Paul McCartney had Wings, and I don't know, it just seems like those singer-songwriter era is gone forever. And then in the 80s, you had the big pop stars, Tina Turner. Of course, Tina Turner was popular in the 60s, but you had Michael Jackson, Prince, Whitney Houston, and then we had kind of an offshoot from the Bee Gees and disco. We went to like ska music, punk music, Blondie, just a lot of Duran Duran, a lot of different types of music. And then in the late 80s, which was when I was in high school, they had hard rock and heavy metal and those glam hair bands like Motley Crue and Whitesnake and Rat. And then you had the more heavier bands like Iron Maiden and AC/DC, Judas Priest. But, you know, those artists were very original, doing things that hadn't been done before. And now it just seems like you can't get this sort of quality anymore, depending on what genre you like. I love it all. I think there's something great in every genre. You don't have to love it all 100%. You can take bits and pieces here and there. You may like 2 Duran Duran songs, but be a Whitney Houston fan. That's okay. You may love the Bee Gees, but still like a Blondie song. It's okay. You don't have to box yourself in. You can like different things and for different reasons. And so with Star Wars, it's just a beloved franchise, and it's still going. It's still going. Oh my gosh. So aside from my talking about the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith, can't wait to go tomorrow. Let's talk about 2027. That marks the 50th anniversary of A New Hope. A New Hope was released in May of 1977. It has been 50 years since Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, and of course George Lucas have been thrust upon the, the film industry and took it by storm, found themselves suddenly known wherever they went and were going everywhere to all of the premieres. It was a huge success. So they just had the last Star Wars celebration I think it wrapped up about a week and a half ago in Japan, and they had a lot of the stars there. And of course, George Lucas and he's always the overseer of everything, even though he stopped directing. He is the go-to. It's his baby, right? So they announced at the end of the Star Wars celebration in Japan that the 50th anniversary will coincide with the Star Wars celebration being held in Los Angeles. I'm so excited. I am from Los Angeles, as you know, and it's going to be at the LA Convention Center. So a group of my friends and I are so excited. Of course, my family, my cousins, we're just really excited, and it's our old stomping grounds, and it makes sense to me. It makes sense that it's in Los Angeles and not, say, London, where most of A New Hope was filmed, and then not in San Francisco, where George Lucas is from. It is in Los Angeles where, the movie premiere is, and it's kind of speaks to the film industry at that time. And of course, the stars that remain live there. The people in the industry still live in Los Angeles. So it made sense to me that it would be in Los Angeles. So we're going. We are already going. We cannot wait. If you've seen some of my Marilyn Monroe videos and you've seen some of my shorts, my reels, you'll know that I am a cosplayer. I've been a cosplayer for a while now, about 8 years, but I started out in musical theater. My first theatrical role was Alice in Alice in Wonderland, and I did Bye Bye Birdie, and Kiss and Tell, and just a lot of other productions. But I love performing, and I cosplay. So I've been, I had my own princess party business and a while back, and I was doing children's birthday parties. I was doing events at the local hospitals, the libraries, the community centers, raising funds for, pediatric ward, and was interviewed on the radio. And so I was doing sort of like a cosplay / party business, and now I just do it for fun with my friends. And I'm in my 50s. It doesn't matter. I still feel young, and we have a great time doing it. So we're getting together all of our outfits, and who's going to cosplay this, and who's going to dress up as that, and are we going to do every day, or are we just going to do a couple of days? And we already know, who we want to see, and of course we want to buy a bunch of stuff, and it's just a really exciting time. So I'm a really big pop culture person. And I received a lot of great comments and feedback on the music videos that I've talked about, the Elvis in particular. But I just feel like our generation, Gen X, and my daughter not so much. She was into, of course, the prequels of Star Wars, but when she was growing up, it was mostly like the Disney Channel, PBS, Cartoon Network. Her favorites were Powerpuff Girls, Hey Arnold, Rugrats, you know, Cat Dog, Arthur, things like that. So I do see that, like Hello Kitty, Strawberry Shortcake, definitely you've seen a lot of Powerpuff Girl merchandise. A lot of that stuff is coming back too. So we're revisiting our youth and the things that we loved way back when. We're revisiting that and we're enjoying it again for round 2. But what I love about this Star Wars is that it has been a 50-year journey and it continues to grow and it continues to invite more people into the fandom. You've got Star Wars fans who are 5 years old all the way up to 95. And it really unites people because you typically can connect with 1 or 2 characters. And even if you're not a huge fan of Star Wars, you certainly know about Star Wars and its impact on American culture, just the contribution it made. And you know, come on, you know who Luke Skywalker is and Darth Vader and Princess Leia and Han Solo. You know who those characters are. And you know, it's just part of our American culture and I love it. I love the fact that, you know, people can talk about it and no matter where they're from or what their age is. So I wanted to open it up here for reminiscing and nostalgia, and I'd love, love, love to connect with you and hear about your Star Wars memories or your favorites. What's your favorite film from the franchise? What's your favorite series, character? Do you like to go to these conventions? Do you have a collection of comic books or action figures, or do you own a lightsaber? What is it about Star Wars that you love? And, you know, would you be going to the LA Convention Center in 2027? I think the dates are April 1st through the 4th. And it's going to sell out. I mean, I think over 100,000 people were in Japan. I'm not sure it's going to be over that in LA for sure. And LA is actually going to be hosting the World Cup next year, 2026, Star Wars Celebration 2027, and then the Olympics 2028. So LA is really going to be the focus over the next 2-3 years, and we are so excited. Let me tell you, I can't wait. And I'll probably do updates here just for the fun of it, let you know what we're doing behind the scenes and where we're gonna stay and all that kind of good stuff. So anyway, I did want to share with you these movie merchandise, concession stand merchandise that I got, and I can't wait to see episode 3 again tomorrow night. So yeah, I'm just Star Wars fans, leave me a message, a comment below. Let me know what you love. And I love discussing things like this. I'm huge on pop culture, and I would just like to see what you guys love and remember about Star Wars. I'll see you on the next one, guys.